June 24th, Monday. Welcome to Bitcoin TV's channel. I'm Zhu. This is 24-hour data headlines in the crypto industry sponsored by Deepcoin. Bitcoin continued to fluctuate narrowly around 64,000 over the weekend and began a new wave of decline around 4 o'clock today, dropping to a low of 62,000 around 8 a.m., hitting the lowest point since mid-May. As of noon, Bitcoin remained around 62,800, so will it continue to explore 60,000 and what volatility risks need attention this week? First, the latest personal consumption expenditure price index, an important indicator used by the Federal Reserve to measure inflation changes, is expected to slow to 2.6% in May, which will be released on June 28th, this Friday. Additionally, due to the decline in gasoline and other commodity prices, partially offsetting the impact of rising housing rental costs, the U.S. Consumer Price Index and Producer Price Index growth rates both slowed in May. Secondly, several Fed officials will deliver speeches successfully this week. Lastly, the first debate of the 2024 U.S. presidential election will take place on June 28th, with incumbent President Biden and former President Trump battling it out. If the two discuss cryptocurrency issues on stage, it could potentially bring volatility to the market. Since June 6, the total locked value of on-chain DeFi has continued to decline sharply. In 3 weeks, it plummeted from $109 billion to the latest $97 billion, a decrease of nearly 11%. The top 10 on-chain staking TVLs all show different degrees of decline in monthly, weekly, and 24-hour data. Looking at the monthly data, the SOL chain, which had been growing continuously for a long time, showed the most fierce downward trend. In the past 30 days, TVL funds decreased by 16.45%. In addition, the reduction in Ethereum gas fees has caused its burn rate to hit a new low in the past 12 months. Data from Ultrasound Money shows that due to the reduced burn rate, Ethereum is currently in a state of mild inflation, with an average supply growth rate of 0.56% a year over the past 7 days. Although there is a high probability that S1 file for Ethereum spot ETFs will be approved in nearly June, thus officially opening spot ETF trading, this positive news has not been able to resist the overall market situation and the downward trend. In the past 7 days, USDT's total market cap has increased by 400 million from 112 billion to 112.9 billion. Although this growth is not significant against the backdrop of Bitcoin's decline and capital outflow, such growth shows that some investors in the market may be secretly hoarding coins. This may suggest that as Bitcoin declines, these investors' willingness to buy the dip is strengthening. Additionally, in the past 7 days, USDC's total market cap has risen from 32.4 billion to 30.7 billion, an increase of about 300 million. As the main channel for US investors and institutions to enter and exit the market, USDC's market cap showed a trend of falling first and then rising after Bitcoin continued to fall, forming a clear small inflection point. This inflection point appeared after Bitcoin's price fell below 66,000, and market funds have remained basically stable since then, seemingly waiting for the next key support level. Alright, please like and follow us. We'll help you sort out the news closest to money in the coin industry, blockchain industry, and the mining industry. In the past 24 hours, when BlackRock submitted its Bitcoin ETF application, the price of Bitcoin was about 25,000, and now Bitcoin's return has reached 2.6 times. Can the approval of the Ethereum ETF further push up the price of Ethereum? The market is closely watching the program's S1 registration statement as to when the Ethereum spot ETF will be approved and listed by the US SEC. On the evening of June 21st, the Bloomberg ETF analyst Eric Balchunas posted a list of 8 Ethereum spot ETF applicants and reiterated that July 2nd would be the issuance date for Ethereum spot ETFs. The market seems to be very much looking forward to this positive news bringing a bull market, but will it really be as everyone wishes?
Regarding future price increase predictions, Andrew Kang, co-founder of Mechanism Capital, expressed a conservative view. He pointed out that compared to Bitcoin, the impact of the Ethereum ETF seems to be relatively limited. Even though Ethereum's return rate reached 2.1 times in the same cycle, it seems insignificant compared to Bitcoin's rise. According to Eric Balchunas' estimate, Ethereum's market flow may only be 10% of Bitcoin's. This means that in 6 months, Ethereum's real net purchase flow is expected to be $500 million, with a net flow of $1.5 billion.
The market always tends to overestimate the short-term effects of new things while underestimating their long-term impact. Changes start small, and against the backdrop of the 2024 election year, recently, whether at the regulatory level or the capital level, the macro environment has clearly improved. This means that the stance of U.S. regulatory agencies is shifting from tough to soft, especially as the expected approval nod for the Ethereum ETF has been significantly brought forward, seemingly only a step away from final launch. Most directly, ETH's performance in the secondary market has also shaken off its previous sluggishness and started to gradually strengthen. The most obvious is a change in the ETH-BTC exchange rate. Since October last year, ETH has been continuously declining compared to BTC, with the ETH-BTC exchange rate falling from above 0.064 to below 0.045 since mid-May. The ETH-BTC exchange rate has started to break out for the downward trend, breaking through the 0.05 and 0.055 barriers in the past month, reaching a recent high of 0.058, showing overall strength. On the whole, in this market environment that's both cold and warm, there are still quite a few positive factors slowly firming. As long as you observe carefully, you can still see confidence. Most netizens' understanding of the United States comes from movies and TV series. In their impression of the United States, the law enforcement departments are the most powerful, like the FBI and the CIA, police, movies, and TV series, who are all imposing and often resort to headshots that's just carefully designed for visual effects and ratings in movies and TV series. In the US, a law-abiding citizen won't be terrified when they see police or other public servants. However, if they encounter law enforcers from another department, they're in big trouble. This department is the Internal Revenue Service, IRS for short. As early as 2014, the IRS issued a notice explaining that virtual assets is viewed as property for federal income tax purposes. In recent years, the IRS has repeatedly consolidated the framework for taxing crypto. However, there are many who oppose the IRS, and the Blockchain Association is one of them. As early as 2023, the Blockchain Association wrote a 39-page letter to the IRS detailing comprehensive objections to the broker regulatory provisions proposed by the government agency.
Recently, the Blockchain Association has once again raised objections to the broker rules proposed by the Internal Revenue Service. Spokespeople for the Blockchain Association believe that signing these proposed rules into law will add 8,000,000,1099 DAE tax forms to be processed, 4 billion hours will be wasted on processing these forms, and the annual compliance costs will reach $254 billion. These huge compliance costs and labor burdens far exceed the early IRS estimates that the new regulations will take 0.15 hours per customer to complete, and the total compliance costs will be $136.35 million. The Blockchain Association also cited the Document Reduction Act, which stipulates that government regulators shall not impose unnecessary and complex documentation requirements on individuals and entities participating in the financial system.
The dispute that originally arose due to the cumbersome documents seems somewhat absurd. However, the Blockchain Association seriously points out that the IRS broker reporting rules are actually excessive market intervention. They emphasize that in a blockchain ecosystem, especially in the field of decentralized finance protocols, the implementation of these rules will become extremely difficult, almost barely manageable. This letter is not only a direct criticism of IRS rules, but also reveals the profound misunderstanding of US government officials about cryptocurrencies, digital assets, and decentralized finance. They seem to have failed to fully understand the revolutionary changes brought by blockchain technology and how this technology is reshaping the paradigm in the financial field. US regulators are in an ivory tower, to put it bluntly. High-ranking officials, you need to be more down to earth. Let's look at an explosive one. First, we need to talk about an organization, Consumers Research. Established in 1929 as a non-profit educational organization under U.S. tax law, Will Heil, the executive director of Consumers Research, emphasized in a recent statement that although cryptocurrency technology has undergone earth-shaking changes in the past, they have found suspicious business behaviors in Tether, especially notable warning signs such as refusing audits for 10 years. Given these warning signs, Hill warned that Tether is likely to follow in FTX's footsteps and become the next trigger for market collapse. Therefore, he called on consumers to wisely refuse to use such stablecoins. To further raise public awareness of Tether's issues, Consumers Research has gone to great length, even setting up a website specifically to evaluate Tether.
Consumers Research specially created a website called tethered2corruption.com. It specifically compiles critical reports on Tether from mainstream media such as the Wall Street Journal and Bloomberg in the past. However, most of this content is information already known to the public, and there is no new inside information to directly support Consumers Research's assertions. Tether, on the other hand, seems unconcerned about external doubts and worries, simply responding that the audit is about to be completed. Will Hild also relentlessly criticizes Tether on his personal Twitter account. He quoted content from an interview in 2021, pointing out that Stuart Hugner, Tether's legal counsel at the time had predicted that the audit would be completed in the coming months. However, as 3 years are now coming to an end, the public is still waiting for the release of the audit results.
But we're reaching back a couple of years for the financial audit, and that is in process.
Will Tether's confidence crisis become a black swan event that seriously affects the market? Although Tether has achieved the top market capitalization of stablecoins, Tether's internal operations are still very opaque. New Tethers are only minted and added to the cryptocurrency ecosystem when someone gives Tether limited funds to create them. If this is how it operates, Tether is fine. But there's no evidence that Tether actually operates this way, so what do you think? Will Tether be the next FTX? In our conversations with industry leaders, we found that Japan is also a country with a hot blockchain entrepreneurship atmosphere. Many famous former Web2 big factory people are doing blockchain entrepreneurship in Japan, such as Guo Yu. But due to language limitations, Japan is often easily overlooked by Chinese entrepreneurs. However, as the world's third largest economy, Japan's sense of crisis has more or less influenced the authorities' attitude towards blockchain industry regulation. The authorities are trying to use new technology such as blockchain to maintain Japan's position as the world's third largest economy, while also protecting domestic investors from making Japan a regulatory lowland with frequent chaos. Under this tangled and ambiguous attitude, Japan's blockchain industry regulatory policies show mature and stable characteristics, making the blockchain entrepreneurship atmosphere very promising. Following the launch of our Bitcoin TV Vietnamese channel, the Bitcoin TV Japanese channel has officially started operations.
ディープコインが提供する暗号通貨24時間データヘッドラインです。現在、ビットコイン現物 ETF の総資産純価格は 564.11 億ドルで、ETF の時価総額とビットコインの総時価総額の比率は 4.4% です。
After more than a year of preparation and multiple rounds of host selection, the Japanese channel team lineup was finally confirmed. The Japanese channel began testing in March and was internally launched in early May. As of now, multiple episodes have exceeded 1,000 views and are still rising rapidly. The content of Bitcoin TV Japan channel strictly follows the guidelines of helping Japanese investors enter the blockchain industry and understand the current market situation, serving as an entry point to the Web3 market.
にはーをし忖度しない初心者にとってはビットコインブロックチェーンに手をつけにくいと思うっていうふうにお伝えしたんですけど、やはりこのニュースを読ませていただいて世界に目を向けるとやっぱり暗号通貨ブロックチェーンの重要さ、そのシェア率っていうところで日本ももうちょっと広い視点で見ていかないと置いてけぼりにされるのではないかなっていうふうに感じるので、その日本だけ見るのではなくて広いシェアを持って、少しでも自分でこう勉強していく、情報を取りに行くっていうことをしていくともっともっと未来が明るいんじゃないかなと思います。
Japan is gradually relaxing restrictions on corporate investment and holding of cryptocurrencies. However, tax system for individual investors remains strict. Japanese retail investors' crypto gains face progressive tax rates of up to 55%, one of the highest rates in Asia. This heavy taxation severely hinders retail investment and active trading in cryptocurrencies. The taxation policy leads to low enthusiasm among retail investors, which is evident when comparing trading volumes. For example, in March this year, Japan's cryptocurrency trading volume was 18 times lower than that of South Korea. So if Japan wants to develop Web3 well, they really need to grasp it well. Young people don't have many opportunities. We just want to do something that can let young people understand Web3 and blockchain in plain language, put their destiny in their own hands. Comment and follow our Japanese channel.
Data shows that U.S. government addresses currently hold 217,486 bitcoins, worth about $13.9 billion, 53,900 Ethereum, worth about $187 million. In addition, it also holds 121 million USDT, 750 WBTC, about $47.35 million, and 40,285 BNB worth about $23.37 million. A fire broke out at a virtual currency mining farm inside a building in Samcheon-dong, Wonsan-gu, Jeonju-si, Jeollabuk-do, South Korea, and was extinguished about 50 minutes later. The fire did not cause any casualties, but about 110 mining machines were burned, causing property damage worth about $9 million. Meta, the parent company of Facebook, has been in discussions with Apple about cooperation in the field of artificial intelligence. Meta plans to integrate its generative AI models with Apple's newly released AI system, Apple Intelligence, which is applied to iPhones and other devices. Currently, Rune's market cap has fallen to $139 billion, a decrease of 0.02%. Today, Rune's total trading volume fell to $3.47 million, down 15.39% from yesterday. Cryptocurrency figure Armando Pantoja emphasized Ripple's continuous expansion and pointed out that Thailand might adopt XRP. According to Pantoja, the BRICS countries all seem to be interested in XRP.
A while ago, there was a guy who invested heavily in cryptocurrency trading. After losing money, he went to Tibet alone to cleanse his soul. When he came back from Tibet, he got addicted again. He always wanted to give himself a very Tibetan and Buddhist name, but he kept hesitating between adding position is not wrong and closing position is not wrong. Other friends also gave many suggestions, all of which were profound and full of Zen meaning. Among them, the names that were unanimously recognized as wise and catchy include both adding and closing are wrong. Closing positions brings luck. Holding positions persistently. Shorting wrongly. Adding positions wrongly. After seeing the severe market fluctuations in recent days, this friend finally had an epiphany and gave himself a name called adding positions wrongly again. Alright, that's the main content of today's program. Our channel focuses on curating valuable news in the crypto industry, blockchain industry, and the mining industry. We have news information and in-depth special reports. If you find our channel valuable, welcome to share, follow. You can also become a member. Let's get rich together, adding a zero to your assets in a bull market. See you tomorrow.